Hey, what's up, besties? I have some tea today. I am doing these coffee chats every single day. My hand's a little shaky. This is a passion tea from the brand Tazo. It's caffeine free. I'm extremely anxious today, so I wanted to do something caffeine free. Today's topic was originally, let me put this down before I start yapping. Today's topic was originally going to be how to love yourself and have self-confidence, which I do want to do a video on that, and that'll probably be my next one. But with the amount of anxiousness I've been dealing with today, I do think it'd be more appropriate for me to talk about my coping mechanisms when I am anxious. So when I used to be anxious and crave control, trigger warning, I guess, I'm going to talk a little bit about eating issues, depression, etc. But I used to crave control over my diet and my environment. So I would stop talking to everyone around me, so self-isolate, and then I would stop eating, drinking, taking care of myself in general, and then it would lead to health issues. Now, since I've learned how to cope and how to take care of myself, the first thing I usually do is make a tea. I notice I'm feeling anxious, shaky, nervous. I don't know why. It could be because I didn't have enough stimulation today, I didn't learn anything. Let's say I just sat around, joined meeting to meeting at work, and I didn't do anything to involve my brain. I get really anxious. I feel almost as if I've wasted my day. So I make myself a tea, and then I usually pull out this bag. Everyone's calling them analog bags. I've always had a stack that I carry from room to room with me. My analog stack is what I call it as a joke. But these are just some things that keep my brain busy when I'm feeling this way. So let's get into my bag. I guess I'll show you. I'll start with my journals specifically. So I will journal. This has saved my mental health so much. It could literally be about anything. So some of this is about the Socratic method, how I'm learning to debate and talk to others, opposite action and DBT, therapy skills. Mr. Beast. This is an analysis I wrote on Mr. Beast and my opinion on his content. Anything that's the depth of my brain goes in here. Then I have my Hobonichi. This is a planner. I basically plan out what YouTube videos I want to do, and then just calendar stuff, important items, Father's Day is coming up and I have to get something for my dad, some thoughts of that in here. And then I also, since I have PMDD, I track my moods, just because it's very helpful. Then I have 2 other notebooks. So notice how I started off super anxious, super scared. I'm talking about something that I love, I'm doing something I love, and I notice myself start to calm down a lot more. And my brain is going elsewhere because I have something to focus on. I'm not just ruminating, sitting with the anxious thoughts. I'm trying to show you guys something, and it's supposed to help me regulate. At least that's how I notice it works for me. This is my therapy notebook. It's pretty cute. I have a letter to myself, which I thought was a cute idea, and then I just have some things that I flip through when I'm extremely anxious, emotional maturity versus emotional immaturity, rules for a fair discussion, just stuff like that. Then I have this notebook. I won't show too much. It's basically talking about the different types of economies. No big gov in traditional economies. I basically go through politics in here. So the goal of this notebook is to take notes and formalize and explore my thoughts on common issues within America and the world. That's what I wrote. And I think right after I wrote, I'm now 25 and I need to figure out my, not political stance, but formulate who I am in the world. So that usually goes in here. Anything involving current events, my opinions, goes in this one. Then these are really good when I'm anxious. These are some of my favorites. So not only do I play video games, but in this analog bag, when I don't want to be playing video games all day, I have a fun little puzzle. These are murder mysteries. And then I have these word searches. So these are super helpful in keeping my brain, busy when I'm sad scared, anxious, nervous, any of the bad, I hate putting labels, not bad, any of the normal emotions that don't necessarily align with, you know, being calm and grounded, I'm always using these. And then, so that was it for most of the hobby stuff I do other than reading. So the next thing I do is reading. When it comes to reading and journaling and all of that, I have this little hobonichi thing with all my pens, pencils, erasers, all of that stuff goes in here. My little sticky notes, all of this goes in here. And this kind of comes around the house with me, actually. It doesn't always go in the bag. It was on my sofa because I like to read and annotate. So lately I've been reading Pride and Prejudice with my friend, and then I'm reading this because my mentor gave it to me. I always give this disclaimer: no, I don't believe in objectivism. This is not my jam. I'm just reading it to explore other viewpoints. This would be very helpful for my notebook so I can explore philosophies that I don't necessarily agree with. So I'm going to write in here my opinions on this. Keeping my brain busy when I'm nervous and scared. And I'm not that far into this because I've been putting Pride and Prejudice as my priority, but my latest, I guess you would say, excitement or thing that keeps me grounded has been learning about words. So Pride and Prejudice is written with pretty, I don't want to say old English, but like not things that we would currently say. So I've been taking lots of notes of things that they say throughout, specifically words, and finding out their meaning, and how the word has evolved over time, and why we no longer say it as well. So that's been pretty fun. I also did that with this book, Atlas Shrugged. I just like went through, and any words that I found I was interested in, I'm learning like their root word, their meaning, all of that. I love it. That's been my latest nerd curriculum for myself. And then this just has my Kindle, which I consider this analog. It's a book. I know it's electronic, but to me, this is not like going on your phone. There's like no apps, so I can't like text anyone on here. I like to just use this and put my phone away sometimes. I have some stickers. I have a ton of stickers. And then in here, I have a ton more, sticky notes and things like that. And some of these little clips that I use in books when I'm reading and I need to stick something to the page. And then throughout the week, if I find anything, like some scraps, let's say I get a coffee and I have like a little coffee sticker, or I buy something and it has a cute tag, I will usually throw it in here in this bag, and I'll actually use that to junk journal in my hobonichi. So I'll take those stickers, take those scraps, and I put them in my little planner and I make it pretty, and that helps soothe my brain, almost like a scrapbooking, looking back on a memory. And sometimes I'll even journal in my regular journal about whatever that item is. So if it's something that's super sentimental to me, I'll add further detail in my journal, basically being like, this stamp, my grandmother, my cousin sent me a letter and this stamp is beautiful. And I just noticed, just like this vlog, just like talking to a camera, for me, instantly I'm calming. Like right now, I can feel myself getting calmer. So that is what helps me when I'm anxious. Some other coping mechanisms that I've learned have helped me have been going for a walk, not a run. I've noticed runs actually make it worse. Like I'll start shaking violently if I go for a run. I've tried it. Going for walks, doing all of this scrapbooking, this artsy stuff really helps my brain, which I never used to be this artsy when I was younger. I like sculpted with clay, so I guess that was my outlet, and I made videos like this, but I never did any of this journaling and stuff. Like I did for a while when I was younger, but then I just stopped. This is almost like a resurgence of me becoming artsy, and I think it helps. It really does help if your brain, a lot of people, and I'm not trying to diagnose anyone, but when I speak with others, they feel like they get anxious when they don't have something to do. They can't sit with boredom. I can't. I cannot sit with boredom. It actually genuinely makes me start thinking about everything. I'm like, am I a terrible person? Did I hurt someone 10 years ago? I can't do it. So all of this helps me. Having tea, cutting out caffeine helps me. I know for other people, they don't want to do that. So what's another thing that helps me? Watching TV, but I have to be doing something while I watch the TV. So whether that be journaling, scrapbooking, any of that. Playing video games, of course, that's a big one for most people to help when you're anxious. But I think this is getting a little long. This is how I handle my anxiousness. I did want to come on here and share it because I think these coffee thoughts will be a little fun. It's my way of spreading things that I think or feel, but also getting it out in front of a camera for myself. I think I mentioned that in the last video. This is more for myself than I feel like it is for other people, but if it helps anyone, I'll be very happy to know that 1 or 2 people in this world are like, oh, this is so helpful. But I love you guys so much. If you're an anxious person like me, it gets better. It does, hopefully, over time. I don't want to speak for everyone, but at least for me, it's gotten better. Love you guys. Bye.